Okay, so there's at least one person who is very determined that they're going to put me in prison the rest of my life for a crime that I did not commit. Because Adonis Paul told her that I committed this crime and she's not going to rest until justice is served. She keeps threatening and saying, you're not going to have a lawyer this time. There's no $10,000 lawyer that's going to save you this time. When I reopen the case, it's going to be massive. It's going to be huge. You're not going to have a lawyer. Two things wrong with that problem. The first is, I did not have a lawyer the first time. I was a witness. Witnesses don't need lawyers. They're innocent witnesses of crimes, not the perpetrators. The second problem with that is, had you done everything you needed to do and somehow reopened the case, you could not deny me a lawyer. You cannot charge somebody with murder and then say, oh, you don't get a lawyer. Sorry. We decided because you had a lawyer the last time and it worked for you, you're not allowed to have a lawyer this time. No. I did not have a lawyer the first trial because it was not a trial against me. I was a witness in it. But if you were to reopen the case and they decided to attempt to try me for something, you don't get to tell me I can't have a lawyer because legally I'm allowed one if I'm being tried, especially if it's for murder. So yeah, if you bring this back to trial, you somehow switch the narrative and force it back into trial to let a pedophile murderer out of prison and put me in there in his place, you don't get to dictate whether or not I have a lawyer because legally I have the right to have one. They will just give me one. Just like they gave me this house. Pisses you off, right? There's nothing you can do about it. And I know it pisses you off because I've seen the comments. I see people telling me that my apartment is bigger than their house and I don't deserve it. And they're mad and they think that I just got something for free and it pisses them off. It took years working with the system to get the apartment that I have. If it's nicer than your place, I cannot control that. I literally do not live where you live to control the maintenance of your building. For 5 years, I lived in a tent on a sidewalk. And a lot of you want me back on that tent. A lot of you also don't want me living in front of your house. Right? You tell me to just get back out on the street, just sleep in a gutter where I belong. But if I was sleeping in the gutter outside your house, you would have a problem with that, wouldn't you? That's not your gutter, that's my gutter. I want you in another gutter. Well, those other people might not want me in their gutter either. They're working to keep homeless people off of the street because taxpayers like you don't want us sleeping in front of your houses. You've made that clear. You don't want us sleeping on the street in front of your house. You don't want us sleeping inside of a building. Oh, right, you want us dead. And that's not your choice. Just like it's not your choice whether a criminal going to court gets a lawyer or not. It's theirs. It's not your choice whether I have a home or not. It's the government's. It's not your choice whether I'm medicated and in therapy. It's mine. You have a lot of opinions on my life. And you think you have a lot of control over my life because you can pick up your phone and you can call somebody and lie to them and hurt me. But the reality is that it is my life. And as much control as you think you have, you've spent 3 years trying to have me evicted from my Section 8 and I'm still here. You've spent 3 years trying to put me in prison for a crime I didn't commit and I'm still here. You've spent 3 years badgering me endlessly to confess to a crime I didn't commit, and yet I haven't. Because you are wrong, and you can't force somebody to live the way you expect them to just because you believe something about them. You've been lied to. You have been lied to by Adonis Paul and by my abusive family to believe that it's okay to treat another human being the way that you do. It is not.